Congratulations on the film. I loved it. It's one of the reasons why I liked it so much is because I think it explores something that could happen nowadays. It's not science fiction. It's very real. I mean, all the technology could be applied to lose our intimacy. Could you comment on that? By the way, very well written too. Huh?
Thank you. Thank you. I did a fair amount of research for all the elements. And yes, like you said, this technology, this is not science fiction. This is very much possible. Even, the devices that they have. I researched some of the implants that we're starting to see with biomedical technology and the way it can be used to stimulate pain or to, remove pain from the body. And so this stuff it's not as much science fiction. It could very much be real.
So Bart, how much is this a story of Henry's not accepting reality without giving anything away?
Yeah, I think it's, I really tried to find where his conflict was, if he really cared as much as I think he does, not only about his relationship, but about his own personal success. He doesn't want failure on any level in his life, and not just for a surface reason, but for an emotional reason. So I tried to hang in there in the character to try to, I'm trying not to give away anything, but to connect with my wife, who we have I've got an ego, right? I've got an ego on one side that makes me, angry, and then I've got another side that's like, I won't accept failure, and I need to connect with this person. This is how things should be. And so it's like I try to get lost in that.
I thought it was important that the characters have a history together. They've been together, they're celebrating their 9th anniversary, so it gives us more meat if you want to work on them. And I thought that was a good idea. Instead of casting 2 teenagers who don't have any history, that wouldn't work. So I think it works because of that, the history. How important was that part of the characters for you both?
I mean, I think it was important. I think it helps too that Bart and I both are in marriages that we've been in for quite some time. So I think we both have a real sense of what that is to have that long-term trust and friendship and companionship and all the things that come once you get past that early, lust and love kind of phase. And I think that's part of why Emma and Henry are so polite to each other, even with the problems that are clearly present in their marriage. You can see that they're trying not to hurt each other.
There's something I like. The film combines technology, super modern stuff, with old-fashioned values. The concept of marriage, of the female being obedient and quiet and all that. So in a way, you're exploring two different, this is moving too much. In a way, you're exploring two different periods, I think historical periods, if you want. The super technology of the future and then the values from the 50s, or I don't know. Would you say it's anti-feminist? No, it's pro-feminist, right? Or I don't know.
I mean, I think that it's interesting to sort of see that dichotomy of having these sort of traditional old school values of marriage and what that's supposed to look like, and the role of the woman and the role of the man. And then you do kind of set it in this very modern, very high tech world. And I think it just kind of gives that extra emphasis.
Henry, how did you deal with Bart, how did you deal with Henry's, kind of emotional roller coaster? I thought it was a very great character to play because it has many layers, but I'm sure it was not easy.
No, it wasn't easy because I wanted to find the truth in what that conflict might look like. And even this voice control this scenario with the objective of trying to save this marriage. But I'm not sure Henry was enjoying being this dominant husband and watching his wife be weak. Like, I don't think he liked that, but he's in the situation of like, okay, these guys are correcting the direction of the marriage. Maybe this is how you do it, and maybe it is those old 50s ideals. But like, obviously I married a successful woman with a career, so things got out of hand. And to answer your previous question, like I think that's what makes these characters interesting, is you've seen life, you've experienced stuff, and Jill and I know, like, marriage is hard. It's very complicated, and if you don't serve it and you don't work hard at your marriage, it's a disaster, and it creates a lot of pain and I think a lot of chaos. So these guys have not served their relationship. So this is why everyone in Hollywood should cast people our age. They forget about those kids in the 20s, because hey, they haven't seen life yet. So
yeah, it's
I
true.
hope that's everyone's takeaway from this movie. I joke.
No, it's true, because for this story, it's perfect. It's more solid and more believable, and you care more about the characters. How much is it an exploration of a patriarchal society?
Again, I think it's complicated, right? It's very complicated because it's multi-variables and nuanced, and there's I think it's we're all tripping through the wires trying to figure this out, and I'm not sure anybody really does yet.
I thought
Maybe
the film was very. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was saying maybe Jill can figure that one out on the next script.
Yeah. So Jill, were you very possessive with the words? Don't say that, it's not written.
I mean, it's quite the experience getting to write the story and the characters, and then getting to play it all and bring it all to life.
I say Jill was terrific on set, because I know I've worked with young filmmakers before, and they're very precious with their words. And I would say Jill was precious with intentions and story, but not hung up on how to achieve it. And so she was very open and collaborative and wonderful to work with that way, which could be a challenge working with someone that holds dear to them the words of a project they've spent a lot of time and energy on. So she was not only a terrific actress, but she was able to also be the filmmaker as the writer, to be able to trust me and our directors and let us create real organic moments. Thank you, Jill.
You're welcome. I mean, I'm an actor first, I think. And so, as coming at it as a writer, my goal is always that the actors get to make it their own, and that the actors find their own voice within the character, so that it's not my words on the page that are important. It's how that actor then translates that.
Another thing I noticed and I liked is that as part of the audience, you forgive them both. You understand why they do it, and there are no morals. I mean, I'm not going and judging, oh my God, that's unacceptable. You get into the story, and you've been taken into a situation that you understand, both of them, which is, I think that's intense. It's good.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's more high praise. Thank you. That's great.
And yeah. And did you bring any of your experience as married people into the house?
Oh yeah.
Maybe having a glass of wine. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the best way for me to feel real emotions is try to find real emotions. So, I always question my acting in the moment if I'm not genuinely feeling something. So it's really nice to feel, I guess like the emotions from your real life. If you can bring them onto the set and hopefully not bring emotions from the set back home. We were staying up in Fresno, so I was away from my family, so it was easy. I got to go home to it in an empty room. That was probably a lot better than going home and trying to be, hey, playful super dad and go coach soccer. It'd been too hard. Like I get to go alone and decompress and prepare for the next day. But yeah, I think there's a lot of for me, there's a lot of real emotions going on.
I would like to, if you could comment on the power structure of the couple. I think at the beginning, Emma is very powerful. She's waiting and she's rejecting Henry a little, but then Henry gets all the power in a way by oppressing Emma. So the power structure changes, and it makes it very surprising for me. And also the twist, we don't need to talk about it, but I just wanted to let you know that was really cool, and I didn't expect it, actually.
Oh,
I was going to ask you, I said, did you see it coming?
No, at all. You know what I thought it was going to happen? I thought that Emma at the beginning was going to fall in love with the driver. And kick Henry out of her life.
No, I love the surprise, the twist, which we can't mention, of course, but I thought that was terrific because it really, that simple decision, it wasn't a twist just to make it interesting. It was really to deepen these characters, and it really made the story for me. I was like, that's one of my very favorite things I read in there. That and my character's conflict, but that, I thought that little surprise, that little twist was such a great addition to this story and for the characters.
Okay, I'm asking everybody that I talk to a general question about like, do you think the film industry or the movie theaters, we're going to see movie theaters and we're going to entertain ourselves like we did before this pandemic, or the world has changed forever at that level?
I mean, that's a big question, but I miss going to the movie theaters. I cannot wait to go back to the movie theater. Watching a movie at home by yourself, it's just not at all the same experience as getting the big screen and the sound and the audience with you. I think so many films are meant to be experienced in that way as a group, and you can't replicate that at home.
I will speak to that. I've tried, Jill. When I bought my house here in LA, the first thing I did was build stadium seating and a theater. And so I have this, it's my favorite room in the whole house. It's got nice surround sound. It's got a big, beautiful screen and a 4K projector. It's really great. And I love watching movies on that. It's nothing like going to movies though. I kind of miss someone talking behind me and me getting upset about it. And, someone eating popcorn too loud, but I don't know. It's something about us humans. We like to gather and be amongst each other and be entertained this way. I think we're going to go back to exactly how it was.